Converting decimals and fraction practice. Number 1. Write each fraction as a decimal. For these questions, we'll try them without a calculator. 3 over 4 can be written as 4 going into 3. 4 goes into 3 0 times. Add a decimal, add a 0, bring down the 3 and the 0. 4 goes into 37 times, which is 28. 30 minus 28 is equal to 2. Bring down the 0. And 4 goes into 20 exactly 5 times, so we can stop. So 3/4 is equal to 0.75 as a decimal. For 2 over 3, this can be written as 3 going into 2. 3 goes into 2 0 times. Add a decimal, add a 0, bring down the 2 and the 0. 3 goes into 20 6 times. 6 times 3 is 18. 20 minus 18 is equal to 2. Bring down a 0. 3 goes into 20 6 times. 6 times 3 is 18. 20 minus 18 is equal to 2. Bring down another 0. And again, 3 goes into 20 6 times. We can obviously see a pattern here, so we can stop. So 2/3 is equal to 0.6 repeating. For 5 over 8, this can be written as 8 going into 5. 8 goes into 5 0 times. Add a decimal, add a 0, bring down the 5 and the 0. 8 goes into 50 6 times. 6 times 8 is 48. 50 minus 48 is equal to 2. Bring down a 0. 8 goes into 22 times. 2 times 8 is 16. 20 minus 16 is equal to 4. Bring down another 0. And 8 goes into 40 5 times, and that works out perfectly. So we can stop. So 5 over 8 is equal to 0.625. Five over 9 can be written as 9 going into 5. And 9 goes into 5 0 times. Add a decimal, add a 0, bring down the 5 and the 0. 9 goes into 50 5 times. 9 times 5 is 45. 50 minus 45 is equal to 5. Bring down another 0. 9 goes into 50 5 times. 9 times 5 is 45. 50 minus 45 is equal to 5. Bring down another 0. And again, 9 goes into 50 5 times. We can start to see the pattern, so we can stop. So 5/9 is equal to 0.5 repeating. For a mixed number, you can leave the whole number out and just work on the fraction. So for 1 over 5, 5 goes into 1, 0 times. Add a decimal, add a 0, bring down the 1 and the 0. 5 goes into 10 exactly 2 times. 10 minus 10 is 0, so we can stop. 4 plus the 0.2 is going to be equal to 4.2. For the next mixed number, we'll keep the whole number out of it. 3 goes into 1, 0 times. Add a decimal, add a 0, bring down the 1 and the 0. 3 goes into 10 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. 10 minus 9 is equal to 1. Bring down a 0. 3 goes into 10 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9, and 10 minus 9 is 1. Bring down to 0. And again, 3 goes into 10 3 times. We can stop because we see a pattern. So 2 plus 0.3 repeating is equal to 2.3 repeating. Now write each decimal as a fraction. For 0.3, we write the number that we see, which is 3. Then we add the number 1 below it as a fraction, and we add zeros for every decimal place after the decimal, which is 1. So it will be 3 over 10. For 0.9, again we're in the tenths column, so you'll write 9 over 1 and add 1 0. So it's 9 tenths. For 0.11, the number that we see is 11. Put that over 1, and there's 2 decimal places, or a hundredths column. Therefore, add 2 zeros. For 0.87, the number that we see is 87. Write the number 1, and there's 2 decimal places, or the hundredths column. Therefore, write 2 zeros after the 1. For 1.5, the number that we see is 15. We're in the tenths column, or 1 place after the decimal. Therefore, write 1 with 1 0. So it's 15 over 10. And for 5.7, the number that we see is 57. Put that over 1. And we're in 1 decimal place after the decimal, or in the tenths column, so write that as 1 0. So it's 57 over 10.